We have a neighbor that knew Cobb as long as we lived in Virginia. Gloria.
Dear. I found it hard to write this down. That's going to be harder to say. We live next door to the Cobb, and you have a very interesting life there. And one day, Yvonne came to my door and she said, "I've lost Jim." She used to hike or run up at least 5 miles. I'd see him going away. And she said, "I can't find him." I said, "Oh, Yvonne, get in the car, we'll get him." Couldn't find Jim. And then it came to me, the backs of our houses dropped down to the lake, and I thought, I looked down there, and there he was lying there. And he said, "I can't get up." And I sat down and I said, "What can I do to help you?" And we both started laughing. And we laughed and laughed, and here are these two nuts lying there laughing. And I said, "Yvonne, call the fire department so we can get up." And it's stuff like that you remember and having a good time.
Yeah, he can laugh about anything.
I know. It was wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah, on the mulch thing, Pop did love his compost heaps, and he was particularly proud of the one that was down by the lake. And you know, Dad's a shy guy. He's not like typical slap you in the back kind of guy. But this one is unfortunately going to be with you, Gloria. Sorry, but he was fascinated by compost because you put all the leaves and sticks and anything you can find in this heap, and then it starts fermenting. And he was very excited about when that fermentation starts. That's, by golly, that's composting. And as a proof of it, he had a steel rebar rod, and he would shove it into this compost pile and leave it in there. And then when you pulled it out, the rod would almost be too hot to touch. So Pop came to me all embarrassed. He said he was down there and he had shoved his rebar rod into his beloved compost heap, and Gloria was standing over there, and he pulled it out and said, "Gloria, come here and feel my rod." And then he suddenly realized what he had said, and so, but at your expense. But anyway, that was a great story. He talked to me several times after that.
I've heard that one.
I would like to say that we all love Jim, but now our love will have to be for her, to keep her in your thoughts. We go busy lives, but she'll be sitting there wishing she was with Jim. You have to remember her every day.
I love the story about one of the Marine marathons that you ran, the one that finished up in front of the Air and Space Museum. He ran a Marine marathon. It was in the fall, October, November. Maybe it was in the spring. It was very cold. And he parked this old, I think he had an old Ford at that time, a Falcon or something like that. He parked that right in front of the Space Museum. It was on a Sunday, I guess, he parked there. Put it in there, got ready for the race, put his number on, and ran the race, this marathon. When he got back, late in the afternoon, 5 o'clock or so, starting to get dark, he got back to the car and he locked his keys inside the car. And it's 4:45, something like that. He's in shorts and a sweatshirt, soaking wet, and it's really cold outside. So he began to worry. And remember, the trunk lock was broken, so he flipped open the trunk and pulled out one of these space blankets, which are these silver space blankets that he had in there as part of the emergency kit. Trotted up the stairs, now really cold, into the men's room, where in the men's room they have these hair dryers. So not hand dryers. So he took this thing and put it over himself like this, and punched over the hand dryer and turned it on. Meanwhile, someone comes into the room, and here's this apparently naked guy. The hand dryer with the blower going, and his blanket over him, ran out and got the guard. Grabbed Dad by the scruff of the neck. And Dad explained that no, he wasn't some pervert. He was trying to get some reason. And they went outside and Jimmy his car and he drove home. So many stories of that. The one climbing up, getting stuck up the mast in the middle of the winter with the sun going down. He climbed up there to do something, and he pulled himself up the mast of his boat in Norfolk. And when he got up to the top, the rope jumped the shiv, so he was up at the top, jammed at the top of the mast, not being able to get down. Here again, in shorts and a t-shirt, sun going down, wrapped around in a looping mast, thinking his life is over. The partner who owned the sailboat with him happened to come down on the dock, and somehow they got him down. Story after story it is where he gets himself into a bind and somehow gets out of it. And it goes to his time in the war, too. His war tales are the same sort of thing.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
I'm Stephen, his grandson, and about 6 years ago we went and visited him with my oldest, Gracie, and I was there with my wife Barbie. We were talking, and I thought it occurred to me, here's a great chance to get some really good advice, from somebody who's had a lot of experience. I said, Granddad, if there's one thing you could just say, not getting too deep, what would be some kind of life experience or advice for you? He thought for a second, he had that smile, and he said, use it or lose it. And it kind of hit me at first, and then he kept smiling, and he looked away in kind of a thoughtful way, and I'm like, you know what? And I took that away, and I said, that actually does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's hot. Need something.